Okay, so I've got pretty much this locked in how I want it. I might go back and add a few more details, and I might even take my pencil and go a little bit darker in some of these areas and through here, some of these areas and through here where you see that darkness. And I might even lighten something up. But when we come back, what I'll have done for you will be the Campari bottle. I'm going to go ahead and finish that out. The shadow through here, I'm going to finish out the rest of the folds as they come up a little bit through here. You can see this is a little bit shorter too as well. Need to bring this up a little bit, probably to about right here, as to just curve this up a little bit. And finish these folds out. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you how to give this a focal point like we did with the pear in the little still life object we did. And the focal point is going to be here on the head and a little bit of shadow behind the head to really pop this contrast out. So we'll always come back to use a baseball reference, our home base, and we'll start here and we'll be moving around our composition and continue to see this drawing, but this will always be our stable focal point. For the most part, you generally want that in more representational work. Then you can even break those rules too as well. Okay, I'll be back soon and we will take on that last part and the fun part. It's like your reward. Oh, I get to do just a little bit of shading after I've got all this intense line work finished. Okay, be right back. All right, so we're coming back now into the focal point of our drawing. So everything is completed except now for the focal point area, and that's going, I've chosen that to be this area from the forehead down through the eye, a little bit of cheek and chin, and just a little bit of shadow next to the head, that cast shadow that it's made onto that cloth, and I'll fade it out to about right here. What I tell my students, nothing more than really about kind of the size of the thickest part of your thumb for a focal point rendering, even in a bigger drawing. And it just seems like a natural design decision to choose it at the head, since it's really the focus here, a focus of everything. It's pretty strong here too as well, so they're dominant. There's more activity here, but it's a dominant head, so we generally will look here first. We're kind of vacillating down and through. And so I'm going to make this even more dominant. So I do like to teach my contour line drawing courses with that in mind, with that little focal point rendering. So it is a little bit of a value study. Now I'm using my mechanical pencil, which is essentially just 2B leads, okay, and B or 2B inside here. So they're a little bit medium soft, and that's about all I need. Now I turn my pencil when I render these way over to the side, kind of a pen holding method, so you can see that, and then I just start to go to it. And so what I'm looking for now is to lay in value pattern and work from light pressure to heavier pressure, but to give it a little three-dimensionality with the tone of now the graphite. Give it that three-dimensional kick and finish off that which we were exploring to make that one little area of my focal point the shaded region, so that we have kind of a nice little area to reflect to further. So this is not contour line drawing anymore. This is what I would call rendering, a rendering technique, and we are using value to render light and using value to render light and dark and shadow and make our form three-dimensional. Now I'm going to go in through here and start to manipulate this area a little bit further, obviously, and I'm going to fade this off pretty quickly. I don't want to shade and give value expression to all this. I just want to go into little bits of area into here. So as I start to go through, I'm trying to be careful. Notice where my dark and light patterns are, my edges are. This cast shadow of the deer horn starts in through there, then moves down a little bit. You see some folds in through there. So I'll make this a little bit darker and harder edged. and then fade that off. And that's about as far as I'll go, and I'll bring this shadow down in through here a little bit as we're working on through. And so already it works nicely with that line. So let's spend about 15 or 20 minutes here and finish out our drawing. So bringing that value tone up to the edge of that nose to leave that nose edge nice and hard edged. And so it's the end of a form is going to have a hard, crystal clear, sharp edge. I'll start to fade this off even further. Let it truly just fade off as a design element. Then I can start to bring that shadow inside the eye forming through here. And bring this into shadow. So to conclude this lesson, this was a long demonstration. Use it wisely, use it fast forward in certain areas. If you can use this image to draw from, that I'm using from, and do compare and contrast to help yourself out, whatever it takes. But use this demonstration wisely, and hopefully it can help you figure out some difficult passages and certainly look at other artists too as well. So I'll go a little bit darker in through here. Up at the top around this eyebrow. It's pretty tiny in through here. We'll put a little value down in through here. And we'll soften this up. Cast shadow on the nose column made from the eye socket brow and brow to here. Then I can make this shadow over here a little darker, pop that through. Yeah, we're starting to get nice three-dimensionality coming through now in the figure. And then we can give this a little shadow in through here. So it's a little lighter, then a little darker right in through there. And then it lightens up a little bit through this edge. Just a little ways to go. So we'll go underneath the nose a little bit, and we'll start to bring the shadow down. I'm going to start to bring some shadow into the lip region and through here. And down below and through. The underneath part of the lip and through there. Still a little bit more shadow in through the cheek region to get to the mouth muzzle. And then we're going to start in, hit a little bit more background in through here. And that cast shadow that's made by the head onto the cloth in the background. And I can fade this out even further. And I can go ahead and run some of this into the cheek already. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can to the value system that I'm looking at. Light and darks, the shapes that the values are making, and ultimately how they illustrate the confluence of light onto the object and make it three-dimensional. This is not as white or light as you think it is right in through here, so I'll tone that down just a little bit, take that extra bite off. There's relatively few things that are completely light in a composition. Generally the highlight is the absolute area and everything slightly muted darker, sometimes less than and sometimes greater to show off the darkness quality. So I'll try to aesthetically design-wise just kind of fade this out even further and make this a smoother design transition. I don't want it to get any broader or grow any further than that. So we'll continue to tighten this area, darken just a little bit there. Continue to work that through. Just a little bit more time. I want to get underneath this chin still. And I might just hit a little bit of this cast shadow underneath. Through here to catch the chin reflectivity. And it fits into its shadow shape right in through there. Then we'll go into this chin in here. Then we'll recatch a little coarse shadow, the darkest part of the shadow right in through here. And maybe just a little bit of this cheek in through here. Jaw, cheek. Touch the ear a little bit. And I think we're just about there. I think as far as I'd want any student to take it. Right in through there. Soften that just a little bit more. That delicate balance between hard edge and soft edge. right in through there. Okay. Well, okay, we've come to the conclusion. So from some final reflections on this. Remember, the objective was to describe the three-dimensionality of these forms using 98% of contour line to describe the width, the length, the dimension, using darker, thicker lines for gravity and for weight, using lighter lines for lightness and gravity, and trying to get at the three-dimensional quality of objects, including heads and bones and the texture of cloth, etc. So it's quite a difficult passage even for kind of a basics kind of study. So good luck with it. Good luck with contour line drawing. I think it's a challenging, slow and meticulous process for the most part. There are other opportunities to speed that up a little bit, but for this particular lesson, slowness is the best. Really want to stop and make you look and make you think through the dimensionality of objects. And of course, we added our focal point, and now our center of attention that we draw to is here, and then we move our composition flow around with the apex of this activity through here, and I've kind of raised it up a little bit. You can tell where I've heightened it up a little bit, so it's not quite as sitting low compared to the other. So I ad-libbed a little bit through here and a little bit through here to make it work as I push the table a little bit shorter. So I think you can take liberties as long as you can make it believable and to give your drawing that depth and dimension and believability, and then I think you can start to ad-lib some too pretty early on, I think, as well. Okay, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Take it for what it is. Fast forward in certain areas. I know it's a long video, but I think it's hopefully a helpful one to get you on your step to becoming a better drafts person. Okay, take care. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.